When you truly love someone, you want to spend time with that person. And if you truly love God, you make time to be with Him. When I think of my greatest moments of prayer, I don't necessarily think of those times when God gave me extraordinary answers. The greatest seasons of prayer have taken place when I simply and quietly met with God. Those times have been intimate moments of fellowship with the God who created me and saved me. They have been the quiet moments when I just meditated on who He is and what He's done. One of the greatest times of prayer transpired in Cape Town, South Africa, when I sat on some rocks overlooking the ocean for several hours. I didn't utter a word. I simply sat in awe of the greatness of our God. Another time took place when I was a new believer. It was when I memorized Scripture each morning and meditated on the greatness of God's love. Another special time was when my physician told me not to speak for 2 weeks. My wife and I went to the Grand Canyon and spent a week being still and knowing that He is God. Those moments were all very special, and I still smell the fragrance of His presence. It lingers with me years after those meetings. Those moments have been so precious because they sum up the nature and the purpose of prayer. So many people have a misunderstanding or a shallow view of what prayer really is. Too many believers view God as some sort of Santa Claus. They only go to God to ask for things, never to just get to know Him. Now, don't misunderstand me. God will give us more than we could ever ask or think about asking, but He's more than a benevolent God who is passing out gifts to His children. God is our Father. He desires to know us on an intimate level. He wants to have fellowship with us. When we understand that, then we begin to understand the nature and the purpose of prayer. It's then that prayer becomes so meaningful. It changes from emotional desperation to spiritual intimacy with Him. A young lawyer once asked Jesus what the great commandment is. Jesus said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." God created and saved us that we might love Him. Yet we can't love someone we don't know. In order to get to know a person, we must spend time with that person. That's what prayer is. It's God's method of spending quality time with us, His children. If I were to ask you, do you really love God? I'm sure you would probably say, oh yes, I love God. But what would your answer be if I asked, do you have quality time alone with God? Do you have an intimate relationship with Him? I love my wife and children. Because of that, I make time to spend with them. When you truly love someone, you want to spend time with that person. And if you truly love God, you make time to be with Him. You want to be with Him not just to get something from Him. When you understand the true purpose of prayer and begin to practice it, a sweet fragrance will linger with you for years to come.